that lady brought herself, and then this Swami said, from today onwards, you should not, so that whatever I tell will have the power. There is a Bhashya यदि अल्पविदमी चित्तवान भवति तदुत्तार्थ ग्रहणाय शोधयन्ति गुणाः. Even if he knows very little, if he has absorbed that teaching, whatever he tells, pure-hearted people will not listen. Swami Vivekananda says, if you are love in your heart, each word that you utter is like thunder. One day, very good says, because we speak so much about society and change, society and things problem. Swamiji says, do you really know what is the problem of society? Have you moved with them? And have you really directly seen their problems? And if so, if you have seen, does it give you pain? Does it make you sleepless? Are you suffering with that? And that also is not enough. Do you have any solution for that? Otherwise, you don't talk. If you have a real solution for that, then you come out and declare it. Then that will have a great impact in society. Otherwise, not. So first you should know the problem, then you should be aware of the solution. There should be very deep compassion in you. Then only that will have any impact. This compassion only says in Ramayana, Bharata, all. Because Valmiki did not write Ramayana. He heard, he asked, that was his problem. The problem of a sage is how to control the senses, how to put the mind into that samadhi state, how to have that deep character foundation, how to be established in jnana. That is what every sage is struggling. And in that effort, it is very superhuman effort. Naturally, doubt will come. We will be possible for anyone. Is there anybody who has achieved that? Naturally, it will come. So, Valmiki is asking Narada, is there any person now living, not some old person, historical person, now, Upanyasam Sampradam Gunavan, that is a beginner. Kasya Vidyavam Dharma Kasya Nirajasya Satyavakyo Indra Charitreya Chadvoyunah Sarvabhuteshu Gopinah Vidvantah Kasarthasya Kasyaikam Yadarshana Atman Purjitakrotha Vidvan Pokasuyatah Kasya Vidyavidevasya Jataroshasya Samyuyo Etadicham Shrono Paranto Purvalam Mahashya Pursatos Yavam Eva Vidham Naram. He says, I don't want to know about any Deva or incarnation. I am asking a human being who has all those values in him, who has a very pure character, integrity, truthfulness, love, humility, a tremendous willpower, courage, valor. When Whatever they have asked, they are innumerable and very rare to find, but still I can tell you somebody is there. Now, Ishwaramacharana Prabhu Ramo Rama Janai Shuddha, a great prince who is known by the name Rama. Here he is born in Ishwaramacharana, the dynasty of Ishwaramacharana. Saying this, Narada enumerates and operates on Rama's Ramaguna. Even as a prince, he has all these qualities in him. He narrates everything. Hearing that, Valmiki listens to the Ramayana in its brief form from directly from Narada. Narada initiates Valmiki about Ramanacharana. Bhavana also Narada initiates Vyasa. Here Ramanacharana, Narada gives initiation to Valmiki. And there is a beautiful verse there where the Narada says, we have already seen whatever Ishwaramacharana Rakshita Jivasya Dharmasya Parirachita Rakshita Swasya Dharmasya Swajarasya Rakshita. It's a very compact verse where the Narada says Rama is the protector of Shankara. Now we have the mourning period also coming here. Rama is the protector of Shankara. Rakshita Jivanasya Dharmasya Parirachita is the protector of Dharma. Not only the outer Dharma, Rakshita Swasya Dharmasya, he holds on to his Dharma, Swajarasya Rakshita. After listening to this Ramayana Katha, Valmiki's mind becomes very clear, crystal clear. The contact with Saint Narada and listening to him, Valmiki's mind was lifted. There was a profound aesthetic feeling inside. It was as if suddenly he was impregnated with Ramayana. So suddenly he started walking in the forest. His disciple Bharat was behind him. He looked at the trees, the river, the sky, the earth. Everywhere there was the divine fragrance. And he saw so many birds there. You know the story? But hunter came and he shot a bird with an arrow. Suddenly this happened. One bird in front of him, a very lovely, beautiful couple were sitting there on a branch. The male bird falls down, hurt by the arrow. Seeing that, Valmiki had that, he was in ecstasy. He was in a meditative state. Suddenly he saw this violence. He was deeply hurt. And there, Shoka Shloka Kromagata, the Shoka, the sorrow suddenly became Shloka. And it came down as a verse. And he said, Mahishadam Pradesham Agama, Shashvati Sabha. Yatram Yadhunadekam Avadhi Kamamohita. This is a very well-known verse that says, you hunter, you will not attain peace of mind because you did this puerile act. You killed this bird, like that comes the verse, but suddenly it was a verse, a poetry. It was a poem that happened. Along with that curse, Ramayana was born. And Bharat by took that verse by road and he was chanting it. And when he went back to the hermitage, he was contemplating what came to me. This is the way the shloka is born. It is not written. A sage suddenly becomes a kavi, a poet. And then the story goes that Brahmaji himself came down and told Valmiki where to write Ramayana. And when you write, I give you word, not a single falsehood will creep in. So write, Nate Vak Andhata Kavya Bhavishyati Guru Ramatakam Punyam Shlokavatna Manora. This Swamiji wrote Ramayana. And in Ramayana, he was picturing that Rama's dharma. Ramo Vigrahavan dharma. You can see the entire Rama replete with Rama's character and the way he stands out as a Vigrahavan dharma. Even Maricha says to Ravana that Ramo Vigrahavan dharma. And Tyara, renunciation is deep down there in Bhagavatam. Shuka tells, Vande Mahapurusate Charanarvindam. And he says, who can renounce the kingdom like Rama? Tektva Dusudustya Sudipsinatachalakshmi Dharmishta Adhyavasayadagaram Mayam Daitaye Sidam Vadhav Vande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam. Vande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam. In Ramayana you can see this Mahapurusha Katha. So the entire epic is simply filled with this dharma, this idea of dharma. And we saw how Mahabharata also, Gita also begins with dharma. The very Gita Bhashya Shankara begins with this definition of dharma. And what essentially is this dharma? In Ramayana, Rama says, Sukshmaha Parvadudyeyaha Sadam Dharma Pradavangam. Hridista Sarvabhutanam Atmavela Shubhashubham. The secret of dharma is known only to an enlightened being, a jnani. In Buddhism, they say, Dharmam Saranam Gacchami. In fact, they call Jnanam as Dharma. In Gaurabhata Karika also is there. The Dharma Shabda is used to explain Jnana. What is implied is only Jnana. So Dharma is, or ethics is, to put the body, mind, intellect, everything in order so that it will not disturb your own inner peace and it will not disturb others around you. This is Abhyudaya Nishrayasa. Nishrayasa is for you, Abhyudaya is for everyone around. So Dharma is born from tapas, and it is revealed through the character of a person. That is what Swami Vivekananda said, character building is not that easy. In Gita, 12th chapter, Bhagavan says, Advaita Sarva Bhuta Maitra Karuna etc. After enlisting everything, he says, Dharmya. This is the essence, nectar of Dharma. So this is what, first we have to define what do we mean by ethics. I don't know. We say children are going astray, all these things, but how to bring them back? It is like belling a cat. Who will do it? It is not that easy to bring the senses and mind in order and to put life in the track of dharma. It is not that easy. You need tremendous influence. You need a certain kind of energy to develop ethics, a little bit of ethics in it. After telling so much, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahaprabhaya. Even a little bit will do. As we said in the anecdote of Ramakrishna, first a person has to practice. Somebody asked Bhagavan Ramakrishna, how can we help another person spiritually? And Maharishi said, very practical, very profound. He said, the effort that you put on your own self, in putting your senses in order, your mind in order, the tapas that you do will naturally play upon others. Only that can impact the other person. You have to reveal to your life and see that people will learn. Otherwise, it is not possible. They will see through you. You are only talking, you are not practicing. There was a great Mahatma, Bharathi Maharaj in Kashi. Once one person asked him, Swamiji, what is the lakshana of a Sridhar? And Bharathi Maharaj spoke elaborately about Sridhar lakshana. Then this youngster said, many of these are not in use, Swamiji. Then Bharathi Maharaj said, you asked about Sridhar lakshana. So I spoke to you about Sridhar lakshana. If you had asked about my lakshana, I would have spoken about my lakshana. I told you about what the Shastras are saying. Now if you are asking about me, I would have told about. See, people will always look at the person who is talking. And it is not that easy to be a teacher, to come into the society and reveal this to others. Very difficult. Very difficult. Great sages have said when they fail in their mission here or there, they will not put the blame on others. They will say, I do not have tapas. My austerity is not enough to make them, force them to do this. So that is the Indian way. That is why I told Ramayana we are with tapas. If tapas is not there, talking, arranging lectures, writing books, all these things we can do. We are doing that. But at last we find something is lacking. Some very deep energy is needed to make that flow. So that has happened in our tradition through tapas. And what is tapas? Manasasya Indriyanam Ayukatrim Paramantara. That is very difficult. Anything that can lift you from the modern state is tapas. In Tapa, if you reverse, it means Patak. It's Patita Vasta. The mind that it goes, it is Patam. Again, Upanishad says, Keneshitam Patati Prashita. The moment mind goes out, it is Patam only. The same mind, when you take it inward, it is tapas. And when slowly you build up the character, Indriya Nigraha, Mano Nigraha, and also some spiritual practice, which can lift you, which can make you spiritually evolved, that is all tapas. And our very Indian tradition is that great kings also were longing to do tapas. Even Ramayana, Rama says, Naham Arthavaroni Lokam Avastorusare Vidhiman Rishinisturyam Vimalam Dharmavasam. Very, very beautiful sloka. You know the story. Kaikeyi asked for the kingdom. She told Dasharatha, give the kingdom to my son Bharata, let Rama go first. But she had a doubt whether Rama will go or not. So she was telling Rama, be quick, you go very quickly. Because if you wait here, your father will not eat or drink water. Such cruel words she was telling. Hearing that, Rama said, my dear mother, do not doubt, I will go. Because I don't want this king. So who will say this? Just wait, that is what Shukracharya says. How can we know the politicians? When if you pull them down, they will not come. So here Rama says, now I don't want this wealth, this worldly wealth. Lokamastu sare. You know, so much confidence he says, Vidhimam Rishinisturyam. Consider me to be equal to the sages like Vasishtha and Vishwamitra. Vimalam Dharmavasthitam. I like to follow their dharma. Even Sita says that such a beautiful. When father asked Rama to go to forest, will any wife? She says, wherever I will come. And not only that, after going to forest, they were not meeting corporates or business people or warrior people. They were meeting only rishis. All tapas, ashram, people discuss the description. Suddenly they are going to enter Danakaranya. Then Aranyakanda, the first verse is Pravishyatu Maharanyam Dandakaranyam Atma Ramodadarshadudarsha Tapasashramandalam. See, Rama's gaze to South India. When he was about to enter South India, when he is entering Dakshina Bharata, the picture is he sees so many ashrams, tapasashrams. We can be very proud about South India and we can also be a little bit ashamed. Because South India had two kinds of people. One is full of sages. On the other side, Rakshasas. Also same. All the Acharyas are from here. See, even the Acharyas, Shankaracharya, Ramanacharana, Upanyasam, And the other group also are very powerful. So, Pratishyata Maharanyam, Dandakaranyam, Atmakaram. The moment he was entering there, he stood like a sage, absolutely controlled, absorbed with him. And he saw so many sages from one ashram to another ashram, another ashram. He was moving around, you can see Valmiki has very clearly pictured. In one ashram he stayed for 3 weeks, another place for 28 days, another place for 31 days, another place for 6 months, everything very clear as if taken down. And Sita tells Rama, why should we go back to Ayodhya? We will stay here. They are all tension, stress, political problem, society problem, all burning like we will better stay here and do tapas like this. Then you know, Rama enjoys her words and he says, if somebody hears your talk, he will come and ask, are you not the daughter of Janaka?
So this is so there Rama says, I am not after this worldly wealth, the worldly desire. Even after killing Rama, when they were the very famous Valmiki Ramayana. Looking at that, Rama said, even if this Lanka is made of gold, it does not one's mother and is greater than Swarga, greater than. When Swami Vivekananda go from America, somebody asked, when you are going back this powerful message to India, it is all very poverty stricken now, very difficult to live. How do you feel? That's why he quoted this verse and said, now each and every dust there is in these two people.
Hello.
Just like a second coming back of Hanuman. When he came back to Rameshwaram in Kuttuva, you can go and there is Ramakrishna Ashram there. And Swami Vivekananda was alive. The then king, Setupati, he went there and said, Swamiji, come down from the ship by keeping Swamiji said, the head of a Raja is the place of Bhagavan. So that should not be done. He was sitting there with his knees. That is Kundaka. That is how that place was made. So that kind of culture is there in our land. Where a sage is worshipped,
where a sannyasi is worshipped, where even great kings, they were desiring to have tapas, to regenerate yourself, to recreate ritually. Because tapas had a strange attraction to everyone in this land. You can see in Kalidasa's works also that Dilipa goes to tapas, Raghu goes to tapas, Aja goes to tapas. All of them, they are all going to tapas. And in Kumarasambhava you can see, now come back to merge in Shiva. So invite Parvati towards him. He is doing tapas there. And in front of him there is a dhuni. A fire is lit. Shiva has 8 forms and fire is 1 form. With fire in front of him, Shiva is doing tapas. This is the picture that in Kumarasambhava Kalidasa is giving. Tatra Agnimadhaya Savit Samithe. The very verse is very powerful. Tatra Agnimadhaya Savit Samithe Swameva Murtyantaramashtamurti Swayam Vidhata Tapasah Phalanam Kenapi Kamena Tapasyachara. Kenapi Kamena Tapasyachara. The desireless Lord Parameshwara himself was doing tapas there. So the purpose of tapas is to lift you. It is not kamya tapas, it is the spiritual tapas. Bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavam agataha. In Gita, Bhagavan says jnana tapas. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, Aham apetakam nija vibhanakam mahaditam tapah ramanavagiyam. The state where the ego is completely absorbed in the heart. The ego is not allowed to jump and to remain in that state, to remain in the source of creativity, source of power. And that is tapas. It's a great secret. No? Tapas, tapo brahmeti, the Shruti says, because tapas is something, even a small japa yajna can become tapas. Gita, many kind of tapas Bhagavan has told, and he says, Yajnanam japa yajnyosu. You are doing some japa, it is also a tapas. Somehow, you have to catch hold of this mind, purify the mind. The only purpose of tapas is to purify the mind. In Vivek Shri Ramanacharana says, Tan manas shodhanam karyam prayatena mumukshuna. Tremendous effort, you have to purify the mind. And how to achieve that purity of mind? By sadhana. Sadhana is tapas. So any means that you use to purify the mind, first of all, you should be aware that your mind is impure. Even that recognition is purity. Naturally, when you know, the first sign of purity is you start feeling my mind is impure. Otherwise, people generally in the world, they say, if you invite them for satsang, they will say, this is all not needed. You have to have a pure mind first. They think they have a pure mind. But all great devotees say, my mind is impure. Even Shankaracharya says, Sada moha charati. My mind is wandering about in the forest of delusion. This is the prayer. O Parameshwara, you purify my mind. So purity of the mind, the means that you employ to purify the mind is tapas. That is what the sages were all constantly doing in forest. And when the mind becomes pure, there is great, profound peace within. The effect of tapas is shanti. The effect of tapas, you can have physical tapas, verbal tapas, and mental tapas. Gita, Bhagavan speaks about physical tapas, verbal tapas, and mental tapas. Physical tapas is Devan Dvija Guru Pragya Pujanam Shaucham Arjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsa Cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. Physically you do some tapas like doing puja, timely bath, everything. Physically whatever you do for Tiruvannamalai, they will come and do Giri Pradakshana. That is physical tapas. It is also a mental tapas because you need tremendous endurance, patience, willpower. So that is also there. But basically, you are employing your body there. That is also good. And verbal tapas is the Shastra Patana, Japa. And talking in such a way that you will not hurt others. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayati swadhyaya bhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapamuchyati. This vangmayam tapas. In Shastra Patana, Swadhyaya, it is all tapas that can be done with walk. And Manasam tapas, that is very subtle. Slowly, these things will seep within, and the mind will also gather that tapas, where your mind becomes quiet. There is great tyaga, there is great bhakti in the mind, there is pure love in the mind, shanti is there, inward integrity is there, then naturally that will have the impact on others. If these three tapas, if we can do, if we can cultivate ethics in ourselves, that is greatly spiritually helpful. In fact, that is dharma, that is sadhana. And the main thing in that tapas is, the greatest tapas, the Vedas says, is renunciation. Nyasa yesham tapasam adiriktamahu. In fact, when you do sadhana, naturally renunciation comes there. You renounce many things. This tapas is ingrained in Indian way of life. People go to Shabarimala, and illiterate people, village from every nook and corner of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, everyone comes there. And mostly these village people, they are so devoted. For 40 days, they won't eat non-vegetarian food. They will not drink. They will wake up early morning, take bath in cold water. I've seen these things happening. And a tapas is formed. Of course, 42nd day they will give it up. But every year there is a strange fascination to do it again and again and again. So the very way of Indian life, this tapas is ingrained. Only after purifying oneself through tapas, one becomes eligible, deserving for higher inquiry. In Atma Bodha, Shankaracharya says, Tapobhihi Kshira Papanam Shantanam Vitaraginam Mumukshunam Apekshoyam Atma Bodho Vidhi. You should be qualified to inquire into yourself, to do the Atma Vichara. When you have purified yourself thoroughly through tapas, then this is possible. So, largely, today, instead of speaking ethics, I am speaking tapas because ethics is not something which you can tell others. Ethics is something which should flower in us. Values are something which has to happen in us, and that can happen only through tapas. The effort that we employ in us is tapas. Even to have truthfulness, satya, the yama, niyama, brahmacharya. We know how difficult it is, how much tapas is needed, how much willpower is needed. And when you try to do it, it is not like that. People have willpower when they want to study. If you want to get admission to MBBS, you write entrance, go there, get admission. Or engineering, you do it. But the same effort, if you want to give up something, somebody tells you don't eat sugar, don't smoke, don't drink, they find very difficult. And the effort that you put there is tapas. Someone tells you early morning you do some Bhavana, do some japa every day. One day you do, second day you do, third day is gone. Why we are not able to hold on to spiritual values? Because spiritual values like meditation or any spiritual practice is a ground where you can cultivate what you normally call as values. Otherwise it is not possible. This tyaga, giving up something for others, a small thing, but it is not that easy. Because the ego is so strong. It wants everything for itself. It is very difficult. You are going in a bus, you are sitting in the seat, you got a seat and bus is full. Suddenly one old person comes there and standing there, and very difficult to stand. He is finding it very difficult to stand. You see him, there is a pain inside. There is a conflict whether I should stand up and give the seat or continue to sit. Your intellect normally will support only your body. It will tell you, if you give seat to him, you have to travel 2 hours, he will get up in the next station, get down, somebody else will sit. All these arguments the brain will bring out and you will simply sit like this. And after 2 hours you see the person is standing there and you go home, no sleep in the night. If you have real conscience, you will not sleep. Otherwise, you wake up, you stand up, give him the seed, the tyaga, a small renunciation you do, and he looks at you and gives a smile which touches your heart. You go home and sleep, that is samadhi. See, a small thing, example I am giving, because tyaga is not that easy. Tapas is not that easy. Character building Swamiji told, but it is not that easy. Swamiji told many things. He said to his disciples, he said, I love you so much that I want to see all of you dead for others, die for others. What is this? And he said that is sannyasa. Vasantavad lokahitam charanta tirnaha swayam bhima bhavarnavam jana ahetunanyana vitarayanta. The Jivan Muktas, they are all sarvabhuta sumrita. Bhagavata says they are friend of all. They have no selfishness. And to have a person like that is great revolution. As they have quoted Vivekananda, I am remembering many sayings from younger days, that was a great influence. In inspiring talks is a portion where he says, let a few souls live for God and for God alone and let the world go. Have no compromise. Then there will be a revolution. How many will be ready for that? But that great Tyaga. That is the height of Dharma. That is why we call it as Paramahamsa Dharma, ethics in its height. The greatest renunciation. A renunciation of the ego and all its norms, desires. And when that is done, it is very rare, you know, when in Ramayana, when Rama saw Vibhishana coming to him after renouncing Lanka, he advised Ravana to take Sita back to Rama. Ravana did not listen. He drove him out. And Vibhishana came to this side of the ocean and said, we should kill him. One monkey said, we will question him. And we will find out what is his real intention. Only Hanuman was support. He said, we should take him. But when Rama asked Sugriva, Sugriva said, we should not take him. Why Sugriva? Sugriva said, because the right moment when we are going to fight, he has renounced his own brother and has come to you. How can we believe him? Rama looked at Sugriva and then he looked at Lakshmana and smiled. Ishan utsmayamanaha Lakshmanam prati Lakshanam. That spoke volumes, because the moment Rama smiled, Sugriva understood what it meant. Because he did the same thing. He made Rama kill his own brother, but forgot all his deeds when he saw Vibhishana. Then Rama made, one nature of Rama is he knows what he is. There is a saying in English, if he knows not, that he knows not. He knows that he knows, he is wise, follow him. He knows not that he knows not, or he knows that he knows not, he is humble. You can teach him. He knows not that he knows not. He is a fool, ignore him. Rama knows that he knows. That is why to Kaikeyi also he said, I am like a sage. And here he says, take it from me, Sugriva, that there will not be another Rama. And he says, there will not be another brother like my brother Bharata. There will not be another son who will go to forest by hearing it from his father. न सर्वे भ्रातरस्तात भवन्ति भरतोपमा मद्विधावा पितुः पुत्राः सुहृदश्च भवद्विधाः. So this is where he says this renunciation is not that easy. You need an avatara purusha to do that. So that kind of renunciation, it is the greatest tapas, and that is the power of character. Bahujana hitaya, bahujana sukhaya, for the well-being of many, for the good of all. If a person is ready to renounce his own selfish desire, that is dharma. And to Abhishavana, there is a word called Abhishavana. You have to extricate, just like churning the ocean, they brought the nectar, like that we have to churn the body, the mind, the soul, and bring out this rare thing called dharma from within. You have to do the tapas. You can call it dharma, or you can call it spirituality, or you can call it character, or you can call it tapas, or you can also call it Bhagavan. You can call it bhakti. some profound essence arises from the human soul, and that can never come from the body or the mind. The body and mind are of course shown. The austerity is performed with the body, with the mind, with the senses. It's a very profound subject. Just one day I am talking, I am speaking to you. We cannot bring it out. We have to churn it out from within. And we have to live that life. Transform our life. It's a great alchemy where you transform the lead as gold. It's like Chintamani Vidya. It is a Chintamani Vidya. So this we have to first, we should be extremely subjective, Atmanishta. I am not talking about spirit, Jnana Atmanishta. It is that you have to turn towards yourself every step, physically, mentally, intellectually, spiritually. That is why the first step is, you see all the devotees, bhaktas, they say, I do not have bhakti, I have this problem, that problem, everything they tell Bhagavan. One of the greatest devotees, Manikavachakar, a great Shiva Bhakta, he says, my love is a bluff, my heart is bluff, and I myself is the greatest bluff, he says. Nane poi, nenjum poi, nandum poi. Oh Lord, I can only be to you. So this inner ring, this inward looking, this putting the entire focus on myself, this is sadhana. Otherwise I can just talk and go, that's all. That I have to look at myself, you have to look at yourself. And we have to see, turn, lift every brick in our habit. Because character is made by habit, and every brick you lift, you find something is hiding there. The center is this selfishness, this ego. To make a thorough cleansing of that antakarana, sadhana is needed, swadhyaya is needed, Bhagavad Kripa is needed, above all, a very strange power is also needed that is not visible outside, but it is palpable in the presence of a yogi who has lived that life. That is why you need direct contact with devotees, sages, those who have higher kind of life. So unless you have that, these things, these things were available to us in our very families. That is why it was not so difficult. This Bharata Varsha, each and every family was like a tapovana, like an ashrama. And there were elders who were leading a spiritual life, a tapas was visible. By such paramparas we have come to this spot in history now. But now to recreate it, where can we recreate it? How can we propagate? Is it possible to propagate ethics? I'm questioning the very thing. Is it possible to tell someone that you should be like this? First of all, who am I to tell them? Do I have those qualities in me? If If we ask this question, this question has no answer. The answer for this question is something will happen within each one of us. Any spiritual idea or anything which we speak highly about, if I ask myself whether I have this, there will be a silence within. But if I go on asking that, it will awaken great austerity, a great energy will arise within to put effort, to purify the body, the mind, the senses. Something which will put everything in order will arise within. Hence, this satsanga is useful. When we speak about ethics, when we speak about immorality, this is what they call dharma glani. And this dharma glani, Bhagavan says, whenever there is dharma glani, I will yada yada dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. So Bhagavan has to come. Where will he come? He has to come within me. He has to come within you. And when you really want Bhagavan, he will come to you. You will get Guru, you will get Shastra, you will get Sadhana. And you will make your own mind, body, senses, everything as a laboratory where you will start striving. What I told, this alchemy will start happening within. And you will find the gold inside. Deep down within in the heart, you will find a center where you go and touch. It will transform your mind, your senses, your body, everything. That is why Rama said, Sukshma Paramadupneyah Sadam Dharma. He said that the dharma of the jnani, a yogi, is a very, very subtle thing. It comes from the Atma. It comes from the soul. It comes from the center, from the self, from the heart. So all our struggle will take us to that plane, that center. When you are replenished from within, from that center, then dharma will be born inside. That is paritranaya sadhuna. That is real paritrana. Then you will find dharma inside you. Tapas inside you. Then, as Swami Vivekananda said, each word that you utter will tell like thunderbolt. I know a very small incident. I remember Ramakrishna's, one of the disciples, Swami Brahmananda, when he came to Kerala, Haripad, there Swami Nirmalananda was doing the prachara work there. And one youngster was having great argument with Swami Nirmalananda. He said, I don't believe in God, all those things. And Swami Nirmalananda was also a great intellectual. And he was putting him down with all his logic, reasoning. But still, that boy was not ready to accept. Suddenly Swami Brahmananda came there and he asked Tulasi, what are you doing? He said, Maharaj, this fool is arguing with me. And I have been telling him so much and he has no brain to receive this. Then Swamiji asked, "My dear child, what is your problem?" He wanted to tell Swami that I don't believe in God. But before he could say something, not much Vedanta or anything, Swami just touched him and said, "My dear child, God is there within you." The moment that great sage told this boy just wept and melted like. For hours he was arguing, one word, he just melted. Next moment he was there, Sharanagati, Namaskar. And what is that strange power? See, if you have the true love in your heart, bhakti in your heart, actually that is jnanam. Tasya priyameva shiraha modo dakshina pakshaha pramoda uttara pakshaha ananda atma. In the heart there is ananda, there is love in front, there is contentment on one side, there is happiness on another side, there is great bliss in the center, and there is love like fragrance coming out of that such a person, and such a person we can say is ethical. Otherwise, even to tell another person you are not ethical is not ethical. Even to say you are immoral is immoral. Because even Bhagavan did not say that. He said, "Avichetu sudurachara bhajate mamananyava." Even if he is a durachari, let him come to me, he will be a saint. Abhichetasi papebhya sarvebhya papakartamah sarvam jnanaplavenaiva vrijinam sankarishyas. Even if you have done the greatest harm, greatest sin, take this Atma Vidya, this Jnana, you will just cross this ocean of sin. There is no Papa. Swami Vivekananda said, it is sin to call you sinners. Because in West, they have heard so much Papi, sinners. But here is some person coming from a distant land from east and telling that it is sin to call you sinners. You are the children of immortal bliss. That is what our sages call Shrimantu Vishve Amritasya Putraha Aye Dhamani Divyani Tastu. Amritasya Putraha. So even to look at another person that he has no character here, that fails. That I have tried many times. Seen that even to children, if you tell something, it does not work. Even to say that it is wrong, nothing will work. And Kunja Swami asked Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, Bhagavan, many people do wrong things here and you are not correcting them. You keep quiet, they think they are right. Bhagavan said, Nayari Tirtha Swamiji. I did not come here to reform other people. If I have to reform, not a crow will fly inside ashram. Not even a crow can be considered flawless. So that was the stand of sages. They just lived. They just lived. And that life had its own fragrance, its own power that invited people around. See, when Rama went, monkeys were there. Yasya kapayas sahaya. Somebody will come to serve. Even a squirrel wanted to serve, we say, because it was attracted to Rama, and that is dharma, vigrahavan dharma. Dharma has a strange power. When dharma is there in a person, he is like the cloud of dharma which will pour down dharma. Dharma megha samadhi.
Patanjali in Yoga Sutra says the Jnani's mind is a cloud that can pour down, shower dharma. By his mere presence, dharma will happen around. So, our entire effort is to do some kind of spiritual practice, any kind of. See, even if you do a Nama Japa, it is like a key with which you open your own inner chamber. And Antarmukhata is born, some kind of introversion happens. Then you start seeing your body, your mind, your behavior, your character, your ego, everything. Unless you have this inward looking habit, you cannot transform yourself. If you cannot transform yourself, it is sheer hypocrisy, arrogance, pride to try to transform another person. At the same time, we have to help others. We have to serve others. That is also needed. So how will we have a balance? When we have to do something like what Disha is doing, as Rekha said, Krishna Paji, I also know him, I have seen him. They were all great Tyagis, they were all great. Those who have sacrificed everything for the land, for Bharata. So they did it like a great bhakti, great. Their Ishta Devata was this land. Their Ishta Devata was this people around. So their attitude was entirely different. So when you work for Disha, when you have this thing, what our diagnosis is also right, because so the media, the modern development, everything is making it more and more difficult for the way of life that sages have revealed to us. So it is always a challenge how to again make the river of tapas go on, dharma go on. So this is an effort where you meet people, where you have contact with youngsters and put the idea inside them. But the most important thing is look at myself. And I am doing it to look at myself and to make my own mind centered within. It is a very, very austere job. It needs tremendous concentration. Without getting distracted, one has to stay in one's track, swadharma. And whatever little you achieve, that will stay there. Otherwise, even if you make great noise and create a big crowd and big thing, everything will go. It will not stay. Small group, a small chamber where you have few, if you can turn even a single person towards the higher life, that is great revolution. Don't think about quantity. Number does not count. There was only one Buddha, one Shankaracharya. There was only one Ramanacharya, one Madhvacharya. Even now, after thousands of years, we are speaking about them. There was only one Ramana Maharshi, one Ramakrishna, one Vivekananda. It's not that so many Vivekanandas were there. But what a single person can do, an organization cannot do. I was told this to many Ramakrishna Mutt people also, that what that Ramakrishna achieved from that Dakshineshwar temple, an international organization cannot do.
You can only maintain that. Because what happened there, that magic, that is tapas. That is really spiritual. So, something very simple you can do in a corner with 4 children. What our Nani's grandmothers used to do, tell a Ramayana to a child, his own grandson in our village. We used to sit around and everyone will get a handful of anna along with that story also. That is how these epics have come to us. The story part has come. But what about the first word of Ramayana? We are standing there. Ramayana story has come, but we have not started Ramayana. Because the very beginning of Ramayana is tapaha, and the second thing is swadhyaya. If you have tapas and swadhyaya, ethics will come, dharma will come, life will have a great evolution, elevation. So these 2 things, and I'm going to stop now. We have to remember these 2 words, tapaha, swadhyaya. Tapas is personal spiritual practice, and swadhyaya is study of the scriptures alone or collectively, and nourishing yourself with the epics, with the ideals of great sages, saints, and those who have walked this path before us. Unless you get that knowledge, you will not be inspired to walk in that path. We are here in Sringeri Mutt, where even now we have our Mahasannidhanam Bharathi Tirtha Swami and Shankara Bharathi Swamiji, where a great tradition of great sages have come in that parampara. And Sharda Bhagavati is here. She is the embodiment of tapas, she is the embodiment of Brahma Vidya. See, Divine Mother, our goddess, she is also Vidyam Shuddham Cha Buddhim Kamalaja Daite Sattvaram Dehi Mahyam. That is the prayer. As Narasimha Bharati Swami says, when Chandrasekhara Bharati Swami was before his birth, Narasimha Bharati Swami prayed to Sharda Devi, give me a follower who will have tapas, who will have knowledge, who will know all the scriptures, who will do all the spiritual practice, and who will be like a shadow to me. Chayam Matkam Vidhatsva Pravachana Namana Dhyana Pujasu Shakta. See, this is the prayer. The follower who comes behind me should have all the powers. You should have the knowledge, you should have tapas, you should have humility, you should have bhakti. And how will all that come? By your grace. So we pray to that goddess Sharda Bhagavati that let this Bharatavarsha live as Bharatavarsha. Let this land of ours live as the Arsha Bhumi, where so many great sages, so many Mahatapasvis, so many Paramahamsas have taken birth. So, with this prayer to all the acharyas, all the sages, we will conclude this inaugural talk to Disha. And when concluding, there is a Bharata Mata Sabha in
because Kuldeep has this